Okay, let's dive right into this explainer by tackling a massive blind spot for AI agents. We're talking about reliably accessing the live internet. You know OpenClaw's power comes from its skill layer, right? Each skill is a self-contained little powerhouse. But while skills that handle local files, calendars, and notes are totally straightforward, live web search, well, that is an entirely different beast.
Because think about it. How do AI agents actually browse the web without completely breaking? OpenClaw is fantastic locally, but the second you try to give it web access, you're suddenly dealing with rate limits, complex HTML parsing, and broken scripts. Reaching the live web introduces so much chaos across different machines and search backends that honestly, agents often just hit a brick wall and break down when fetching live data.
So to fix this, we are going to explore the AnySearch skill today. We'll quickly map out the core AI search problem, dive into what this tool actually is, walk through the installation and runtime setup, look at some practical OpenClaw workflows, and wrap up with the crucial limitations you need to know. Starting with the root of the issue, escaping the endless cycle of glue code. Let's look at why a simple search command is actually a logistical nightmare. The old naive approach, hard-coding curl commands. But that breaks the absolute second an API changes its pricing model, or if you want to swap from a general search to a vertical domain, like academic papers. You just end up maintaining all this brittle glue code that has zero to do with your actual agent workflow. AnySearch, on the other hand, completely abstracts that backend away. It gives you a clean, unified CLI interface, one portable package, multiple modes. Which brings us to the tool itself. What exactly is the AnySearch skill, and why are developers jumping on it? Well, for starters, it has over 1,800 stars on GitHub, so definitely not just a toy. It's a highly popular open source skill that drops right into your agent's environment, zero vendor lock-in required. It's basically the bridge between your clean local setup and the absolutely chaotic live web. And it is not just a basic search bar. It handles general, broad queries, sure, but also vertical domain searches for targeted content. Need concurrent queries? It does parallel batch searching. And the real kicker? Full page content extraction natively into Markdown or JSON. If you ask your agent to compare 3 different tools, AnySearch fires those off concurrently in a single call. No messy HTML parsing required. Okay, let's get into how you actually get this running on your local machine. You've got 2 main routes, the incredibly easy one-click ClawHub Marketplace install or the manual install. Honestly, the manual route is perfect if you want to share the skill across multiple AI tools, since you just drop it right into that .agents/skills/AnySearch directory. It is super portable. Once you have it, you need API access. Now, yes, you can technically use it anonymously, but I strongly suggest grabbing a free key from their console. The system checks for the key in a very specific order. First, the CLI flag, then your .env file, then environment variables, and it only falls back to anonymous access if all of those fail. And trust me, anonymous access has incredibly tight, unspecified rate limits. You will get throttled. Now for the part where most developers get completely tripped up, the runtime configuration. Because AnySearch ships with scripts for Python, Node, and Shell, you absolutely must heed the documentation warning here, especially if you are on a Mac where Python environments are notoriously messy. The runtime priority goes Python, then Node, then Shell, but macOS often defaults to using the Python 3 command instead of just Python. You have to check both to ensure the skill actually fires without throwing a massive environment error. So, you've got to run this quick 3-step pipeline manually just once. First, detect your available runtimes. Second, run the entry test using the dot command on each one. This proves it actually works and shows you which runtime gives the cleanest output. Finally, you persist the winner into your runtime.conf file. That file is local, get ignored, and acts as the absolute source of truth, so OpenClaw never has to guess which executable to use. So how does this all come together in a practical workflow? The sequence is surprisingly fast. Imagine you ask OpenClaw to research recent developments in a new tech topic. It gets the query, steps outside its training data, and invokes AnySearch. It then gets structured JSON results back, picks the best target URL, extracts that URL, and finally synthesizes a live response for you. Seamless. And I really want to highlight this. Using the extract command directly to Markdown is a total game changer. Passing raw, nested HTML to an LLM will just chew through your tokens and confuse the model.
Extracting to Markdown bypasses all that noise entirely, saving you cache and keeping your agent's context window perfectly clean. Before you rush off to deploy this, we need a quick reality check on limitations and best practices.
There are a few gotchas. As mentioned, anonymous rate limits are totally unspecified, so don't rely on them. Next, there is absolutely no offline mode. If you're on a restricted VPN or an air-gapped network, AnySearch will fail silently. Make sure you build fallback behaviors into your OpenClaw prompt. Also, remember that runtime detection is strictly manual. If you upgrade Python later, you have to rerun the test. And finally, the main branch is a moving target. Always pin your release versions.
By properly configuring AnySearch, you are giving your agents the eyes they desperately need to read the live web. But it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Are your OpenClaw agents truly autonomous if they can't adapt to live data? And once you solve the search bottleneck, what other hidden bottlenecks are holding back your automation workflows? Thanks for joining this explainer. Now go out there and unleash your agents.